6 years is a long time to be in a relationship when you're in prison. And now being out of it for close to 2 years and attempting to heal, but not really being able to. And definitely not thinking about being in a relationship again while I was incarcerated, not because of my ex, but just because it was exhausting trying to make something like a relationship work in prison, let alone stay alive and go home. You understand? So when I hopped on that phone call and she asked me my name, I wasn't expecting to be in a conversation with somebody I didn't know, let alone a woman, you know. And at the same time, I was like, it's Sunday. you know, um, I was kind of glad because immediately from her asking me what my name is, she just started talking about what she had heard we were doing with the nonprofit. Um, and it felt good to hear somebody say, I'm proud of you. Even if it was a stranger, it felt good because I hadn't heard that in a long time. Um, she gave her insight a little bit on the business side. And then she asked me some questions just because we were introduced to work together on a nonprofit and, paperwork, stuff like that. But of course, she wanted to know who she was on the phone with other than what she had heard. And that was that. It was good vibes. I asked a few questions back, not really thinking anything of it, but enjoying the moment. Probably thinking I would never speak to her again. But what happened next really shaped, everything going forward. That 20-minute phone call in prison, an unexpected one on a Sunday at that, um, man, it started or it shaped the trajectory of everything to come because as soon as we knew it was time for the phone call, be over because, GTL lady, you have 60 seconds. She just asked, she said, hey, can I pray for you? I'd never heard that. I've never heard a woman say to me, can I pray for you? That's being honest. Since my mother and my Aunt Sheila, that's all I've ever known. So to be a prisoner in this environment and one Sunday you start talking to somebody unexpectedly, though I had heard about it, I just didn't expect to ever hear. Been a year and some change later since she had been brought up. I definitely wasn't expecting somebody to ask if they could pray for me. Of course, I said yes. You need protection. I'm in prison. I had watched my brother lose his life 2 days before he was gonna go home. I was not taking a chance. Yes, and thank you. And it made me feel something. It made me feel like I was alive again in my heart for a moment. Like somebody cared that much to offer something like prayer. And then it was over. The phone call was over. She did say I could, get her email or whatever, or write her, gave her my state number. And I look forward to that, honestly. I then, kind of was interested in what the rest of the conversation could have been. Because if it was like that, business and prayer, and people asking me if I was all right, I might want to have more of this conversation. But more important than that, if I was to be transparent in this part of the story, it may have been too soon, but man, you know how they say, like, when it comes to your wife? Oh, sitting in a prison, not seeing her face to face, which is even crazier. Um, just hearing her voice, hearing the care and compassion, and having her pray for me and all that. I knew she was gonna be my wife. That sounds crazy, and people that are following the story are probably like, "Damn, how could he end something because he said it was too much, and then now his shift or his vision go towards somebody else new?" And that's just that. I didn't expect. I wasn't looking for. And when a blessing comes, sometimes you'll be a fool to let it go by. You know. And I just knew that this potentially could be somebody. You know, that I wanted to stay connected to. But yes, I did see the potential already in that first phone call. People say I'm crazy, but it was just a feeling I had. I was like, yo, that's probably gonna be my wife.